Padres have the Cactus League off day. I think they're mentally preparing to play twice tomorrow. Split squad tomorrow. Padres, Cubs, also Giants, Padres. Now, Kevin Acee is our Padres insider. He joins us 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're bothering Kevin on an off day. Are you preparing for tomorrow, Kevin? Like, where will you be with split squad action going on tomorrow? And thanks for hopping on.
Well, I'm really glad that Nick Pivetta is going to be pitching against the Giants, so I have reason to stay here in Peoria rather than go. What is it? Is it Mesa? Oh my goodness, yeah. So
okay, 2 games at one time for the Padres.
To give people an idea, Mesa would be like Peoria was in Chula Vista, and I had to go to like Lawrence Welk, like up North Escondido.
Oh, you don't need to do that.
And I had to do that at, when I was coming back, I had to do it at 5 p.m.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
So I'll gladly stay in Chula Vista, right? And watch what will be probably Manny, Pivetta, most of the regulars. Yeah, it'll be a good day.
All right, so let me ask you this about Manny. So does Manny have like a back situation, or did Manny just have the weekend plans, which is completely fine? I mean, the SDFC ownership thing, and it's spring training. He's 32 years of age. He doesn't need to be playing right now in spring training. Like, is there something going on with his back, or is it just a weekend off?
There was, and he's fine. I will say this. Like, he explained to me well before that what his plan was.
Mm-hmm.
So it was planned. And unlike all of us on this conversation and most people, if not all people listening, Manny doesn't have to go through TSA and hop on a, Southwest or American flight. Okay.
Right.
So like Manny was back in Peoria at like an hour after the game. So not a problem.
Kevin, I feel like one of the biggest storylines this spring is going to be who the 5th starter is. Randy Vasquez got lit up the other day. Matt Waldron's been okay, but what are the chances that Stephen Kolek emerges and is the 5th starter come opening day here for this team?
Should be a lot greater than we thought, I would think, at this point. The guy is doing everything he's been asked to do. And at this point, besides I think giving up 2 hits and no runs, throwing 3 perfect innings yesterday, throwing strikes, throwing all his pitches, being unafraid, doing the work, and, doing what he's being asked to do to be a starter, getting into the rhythm of being a starter. Those are all as important as the results in spring training. So the swings he's getting, the types of balls being put into play show that his stuff is good. Now, when he gets up to 4, 5 innings, what is his stuff like in the 4th and 5th inning? And that will tell us a lot about his ability. Because what it sort of seemed like was a perfect acceptance of, look, if this guy's got to go to AAA to start the season to get, to become a starter and for us to really see whether his stuff will play over the course of 90 pitches plus, then that's okay. But right now, he's doing everything to be able to, be that 5th starter on, what is that, April 1st or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say the second series might be against Cleveland at home. Is that accurate?
It will be against Cleveland, so I just don't know the dates because regardless, I'll be there.
Exactly. Kevin Acee, our Padres insiders, with us right now on Jon and Jim. I saw you wrote about Dylan Cease's spring debut and the fact that he's added a 2-seamer. So here's a guy that is coming off a very good year. Now, again, the postseason wasn't perfect, but a very good year through the no-hitter. He's adding a pitch to his selection. What's the primary reason, I guess, as to why coming off the year he was coming off?
Well, Ruben is big on that. Ruben Niebla, pitching coach, is just big on different directions, different planes, all the different quadrants that pitches go to.
Yep.
That I will be very honest that I understand half of what Ruben's talking about and no more. But that's the simple way to put it is this pitch breaks, not a lot, but it moves in, it runs into a right-hander. And so you've got his sort of rising, quote unquote, rising four seam at 98. And you've got this sinker that does like a run in at 96, 97. And you've got his slider that breaks away from righties. I'm talking about right-handers here. And it's like wow, cool. He threw some changeups the other day too that looked pretty good. And there's a guy who, like, his changeup last year was like this, like one of us throwing it, right? It was kind of funny, like this incredibly talented professional pitcher throwing this like slow arm changeup, and it's actually turning into something. Some of the other pitchers were like, wow, that's what it did. Wow, because no one was in Goodyear, but they saw it the next day and they saw the reports on it, and so like they were real happy with what Dylan did.
Robert Suarez gave up, I think, 4 runs the other day, walked 3. He had a scoreless outing in his first outing there. Well, one of the biggest talking points with Robert Suarez at the end of the season was this guy needs to develop a second pitch. And, he was really good in the postseason, albeit a couple outings. But at the end of the year, his fastball was getting hit. And where's he at in his, I guess, second pitch development this spring? And moving forward, is he going to be the closer on opening day, or is this going to fluctuate with him and Jason Adam, or maybe even Jeremiah Estrada?
Oh, lots in there, Jim.
I know.
Listen, I was with you. Like it's the first thing I looked at yesterday. What wasn't working, and it kind of was everything. Yes, he did liberally sprinkle in the changeup yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. He's also got this cutter. I haven't seen that much. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen it much this spring. So yeah, that's a thing where you got to keep people off the fastball. It's that fastball's good enough. He can get away with throwing it 17 times in one game if he has to, or more preferably for them, like 8 times out of 8 pitches in the game if he can get away with it. But yes, has to be working on those. Obviously, the results yesterday not so great. Look, I mean, I don't know what to read into that. I really don't. Comes in the 3rd inning, right? Because regulars are still in, and who knows what was going on there? We'll have to keep an eye on that, but it's definitely valid questions. And your question about the closer, emphatically, he's the closer. Now, Estrada and Adam can be closers. Estrada and Adam will close games this year because Robert Suarez, the workhorse of all closers last year in Major League Baseball, like 4 outs, 5 outs, 3 days in a row, no days rest. Like the guy worked more than any other closer by several measures. Do they want to do that to him again? Don't know. Even if they do, you still have to give some, there's going to be other times. And so the Padres have that luxury. They have that luxury, which is another reason why you sometimes still hear, maybe Robert Suarez's name out there among others as a trade candidate. But Suarez is your closer.
It's interesting, Kevin Acee, our Padres Insider. If you're trying to free up money and you look around the roster, that's a good spot to look at because of the fact that they have depth in the back of their bullpen. But then again, Robert Suarez, it's a tough conversation. I could understand trying to move him to get something back and free up money. I could understand trying to keep him because he's a very reliable closer for the Padres. Now, speaking of bullpen, what about Brian Hoeing? He was really good last year. I think you reported yesterday he's expected to miss some time to start the year, right?
Yeah, probably. Well, I shouldn't say probably. It's possible a month. They're slow playing it, they say, and it's all at this point, that's all I got from, multiple people. They say that there's not a big concern. And this does line up to be one of those types of things that it's valid at this point in the year. You're like, you're pushing for opening day, but hey, whoa, let's remember, after the first month, there's 5 months of the season, and those are very important as well. So that's what this is lining up to be. It's a shoulder issue. Not exactly sure what it is, but imaging clean by all accounts, and that he'll be back in maybe in May sometime, and that a lot of times you end up looking back at the end of the season and it was so good or whatever, you forget that the guy missed the first month, and that could be what happens here with Brian Hoeing.
That's a good point.
Look, time's running out for him to be ready in April.
Kevin, what do you do on an off day in Peoria?
Talk to us.
Got a little workout in, and I have been sitting here writing in the kitchen of the Airbnb, just sitting here writing. Wrote a Tyler Wade story. I recommend it. I think Tyler Wade's fascinating. He is your favorite Padres favorite Padre, probably.
Oh.
The dude is just like, he has replaced Profar as that glue guy. And now, as much as I love Tyler Wade and other people do, I'm not saying he's going to replace Profar, with an 820 OPS. But I found it fascinating enough And really, I mean, come on, you guys had to be shocked that it took me this long to get to what was for most of the offseason their big signing.
I know they spent $900,000 on him.
I know
and that was like the only signing for 6 months. Here's my question before you go: what do players do on average in Peoria on an off day? Do you have any feel for like what are they doing today?
Golf, naps.
Yeah.
You know that like just hanging out. This is not you can't call spring training a grind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the season, but it is like this slow burn day after day after day.
Yeah.
So video games, rest, some golf, you know, most wives/girlfriends are in town. I would even suspect that had Manny not gone back, Manny might have, you know, caught a flight home for a couple of days, right? But of course, his wife and son are here. But like, you know, that kind of thing sometimes happens where a guy will go home more often when there's a night game afterward and there's a day game tomorrow. There's the next one though. There's a night game after.
Gotcha.
So that gives you like a day and a half off.
Kevin, always appreciate it. Enjoy writing, which is what you do for a living. And we'll catch up with you on Wednesday.
Well, take care.
All right. Great stuff. Kevin Acee, our Padres insider.